Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Outlook and Report here. As we deal with some sucky weather coming, unfortunately, cloudy today. We had sun in the morning and then it was just overcast most of the day. Just a very drab looking sky today, and still cool out. That's still cool, but we're going to see temperatures warm up. You can see some winter weather advisories in certain parts of the country, including Pennsylvania, where they're going to have to deal with some mixed weather, mixed precipitation to our north and west. And then we got a lot of these fog advisories, too, in the western Great Lakes area. So let's take a look and see what we got outside right now. And, all right, we got the east winds, 37 degrees out there, still kind of cool. East-northeast wind at 5 miles an hour. Air pressure still pretty high at 30.66. That will be changing. And looking at our high and low at islip, high of 43 and a low of 19 today. It got down to the teens even at islip. So let's go take a look at what those lows got down to this morning. I'm kind of curious about West Hampton. No, they did not make it to the single digits. They got down to 12. Shirley got down to 18. Islip got down to 19. Farmingdale got down to 21. 29 at Central Park, which is probably like what my alley got down to. And then let's see how New Jersey did this morning. 18 was the low there. Probably had more clouds, so maybe that kept the temperatures up. Temperatures were around 20. Still a pretty chilly night overall. Looking at our highs, pretty much low 40s pretty much everywhere. 43, a little bit, 40, generally low 40s for much of the area. Low 40s in Central Park. And let's see how Jersey is. Also 43 at Miller Air Park. So generally around low 40s. You can see off to the north and west how it's colder, and that's why there's a winter weather advisory for that area. But we won't be seeing any of that. We're just going to be seeing rain. So looking at our weather map here, you'll see we've got this system that's going to be approaching. It's going to give us kind of a sucky day tomorrow, and it's kind of week kind of looks kind of crappy overall. We're going to talk about that as we go look at the models. We already have a little rain moving into the area already. I can see on the radar here. To the north and west, it's snow. A lot of this is not reaching the ground because it is high up there, and it is not reaching the ground because of the dry air and the strong high pressure system that we have. Looking at the radar here, you'll see all this air precipitation is broken out. You can see all the snow up in western New York and Pennsylvania, the south of that. Rain and some heavier rain, too, around Baltimore and Washington. So we're going to be seeing definitely a lot of this heavier rain is going to be overnight into tomorrow morning. But first, before we talk about the storm, let's talk about the kind of pattern that we're going to be entering into here as we go ahead and look at the jet stream and what we're going to be seeing this week. And you see the jet stream looks like kind of a mess right now. That explains why this week is going to be kind of crappy. You can also see there's a fire hose jet in the Pacific a little bit. So that means we're not going to really see any really cold air. It's not until we get toward the end of the week that we start seeing a trough develop in the east, and that's going to pull down some very cold air for the weekend. And then you can see here as we head into the do see some troughing here. So that's but some of these troughs are not aimed directly at us. Some of them are in different spots. Let's go take a look at the European as well. I'm pretty sure they're going to be similar. Yeah, fairly similar. But you can see there's still a pretty strong fire hose jet. But it kind of breaks down as it gets closer to the coast, which kind of allows for some of that cold air to get in, which is important. So let's go to the upper air. So right now, dealing with a ridge in the east, which is going to mean warmer air for this week, and quite warm air on Tuesday. Then here comes that trough, a little bit for Thursday, and then much stronger for the weekend. And you can see that trough right there, and then we see another ridge kind of developing here. And then on one of these upside-down patterns, according to the Euro, as we get to the end of the month. GFS. Similar deal. Here's that first little trough for Thursday, and then the stronger trough for the weekend. But still, West Coast, really deep trough off of Alaska, which usually means a lot of warmth for the east. We have that kind of setup. And you can see there's a huge, this looks like an LLJ perhaps, that we could see before the month is over. So there's some differences here and there between them on the upper air. But let's go take a look at our temperature anomaly chart here. Obviously, well above, and I'm going to keep it on this North American view here. So well above normal on the GFS here as we go and look at, and I mean, I could go to the 12Z. I just look at the latest run, all right? So you can see well above normal, well into eastern Canada too, by the way. And then we're going to see well above normal temperatures on Tuesday, still above normal Wednesday. And then as we get toward Friday, that's when we'll start seeing the cooler air come on in. And then colder air, still colder air for Saturday, you can see. And Sunday especially, it's going to be some chilly air that's going to be coming down. And then you can see staying cold into next week, and then we start seeing that warmth translate to the whole country as we get toward the whole really warm weather. As we get toward the end of the month, look at this GFS, just off the wall warm. I'm just curious if the 12Z does that too. Well, yep, they both do it. So we could have some record warmth by the end of this month, according to this GFS. Look at those dark reds. That's look at how far north that goes too. So that's all pretty disturbing to see for sure. Let's go look at the European now. Go to the 12Z European. European is more intense with the cold blast. The GFS is not as strong with it. European definitely has a much bigger temperature anomaly, because if you look at where the air mass is coming from on the European, you can see, unlike the GFS, it looks like this is Arctic air that we're going to be dealing with this weekend into the first part of next week into Christmas. And then as we get toward the latter part of the month, you can see again those way above normal temperatures that are going to dominate much of the country, including eastern Canada, well above normal there. And I'm just kind of curious as to what those actual temperatures are. Yeah, it's showing temperatures up into the 30s and 40s, even up to northern. That's very warm. GFS also showing that as well. Pretty crazy stuff there. 40s and maybe even 50s shooting up into eastern Canada. That's pretty crazy right there. If we were to look at a reading here. Oh, it's not going to let me do that. All right, let's go to the CONUS view, and we will go and look at the surface next. So we can show you how all this is going to translate to the surface here as we deal with a parade of unsettled weather this week, unfortunately. So high moves away. We deal with our first rain tomorrow in the morning, and then it could linger around with drizzle. We'll talk about that as we look at the short range. And then another batch of rain comes in Monday night to Tuesday, and then we have very warm weather Tuesday. And then Wednesday, by Wednesday night, here comes the next system. This is a cold front coming through. And it's eventually by later Thursday, it'll move on out. We have our first little shot of cold air, then a clipper comes through, and then we see that second shot of cold air come on through here. This is the GFS here, all right? And then going out, you can see as we get into the latter part of the month, we'll have a lot of storms riding up west of the Great Lakes, and perhaps some potential for some really warm weather and LLJs involved with that. European. Let's go to the 12Z European. So here's the European. Similar deal tomorrow. So again, you get that system for the first part, and then you got another system tomorrow night to Tuesday. High pressure builds in, and then another system Wednesday night into Thursday, and then here comes that first of the polar air, and then the next system for Sat. And it's trying to develop like a little low offshore that might end up throwing some precip our way Saturday, perhaps, and then that big high pressure just builds in there for the first part of next week. And then you see what happens as we get toward the end of the month with more of a warmer flow. When we look at our Weather Prediction Center, we'll go to the QPF map here, and then we'll look at the models here. So 1 to 7 QPF, you can see it's going to be kind of wet. They got us in the purple, so possibly up to 2 inches of rain the next week. If we go look back to the models, where is it? Here we go. Let's see what the models are putting out as far as total accumulated precip First, the European. And yeah, similar, pretty much a similar look on the European. This is all the way through December 30th. GFS is a lot wetter, for sure. GFS has a lot more precipitation, a lot of, especially off to the north and the west there, but at least another 2 to 3 inches of precipitation. So that's what our outlook looks like. Let's look into what this week is going to be like. Let's go to the HRRR first, and I will go to the precipitation part here so we can show you what's going to be happening as we head into tomorrow. And you'll see here, in fact, before I do that, we'll go over the we'll do this first, precipitation. So once we get toward 11 o'clock tonight, we're going to see rain break out across Long Island, and could be some moderate rain. And then the problem with tomorrow is it doesn't really completely want to move out. All right, by the afternoon, you can see there might be some sucky drizzle around, perhaps a little light rain, hopefully a break. And then after 10 o'clock tomorrow, here comes another batch of rain with the second batch there. And then Tuesday, we deal with the warmth that we're going to deal with behind this system. So let's look at total rainfall on this. So it won't be a ton of rain with this. It's not going to be a soaker, but it'll be enough. So here's the first batch overnight. Looks like it has heavier rain over New Jersey. Could be as much of an inch there, maybe more like a half an inch over us. And then the second batch comes through and gives, I think, closer to 3/4 of an inch and maybe an inch over Long Island. So, yeah, this is going to bring more rain for our area. So let's look at our dew points and wind flow. Show you how our air mass is going to be changing. So we got the southeast wind here, and you can see the humidity rises tomorrow. It's gonna bring in more moisture, which obviously brings the rain. And then we have the second batch, the southwest winds that'll bring in more moisture for the second batch of rain Monday night to Tuesday. And you can see that warm air that we're going to have, and we're going to have a westerly flow on Tuesday, so it's going to be a warm day with that westerly flow. It's going to really get temperatures very warm. So tonight, not going to see any radiational cooling tonight. The temperatures will probably just be steady. And again, we had temperatures, what were they again? We had 37. Of course, I'll just show you what the air is in my alley. We have 44 coming in through the window with the, so 44. It's like 10 degrees. It's ridiculous. But anyway, tomorrow, the temperatures rise to the upper 40s to around 50, probably 50 degrees tomorrow, and staying there, rising through the 50s tomorrow night. And then for Tuesday, we're going to get near 60 degrees possibly, especially if you're maybe in Jersey, but even here it might get at least the mid-50s for Tuesday. So very, very warm, very warm. So let's look at a few more models as far as the rain goes. We'll go to the NAM next. I don't know if the 0Z in, but we'll look at the 18Z here. So here's the NAM for tomorrow, and you can see there's that rain that we're going to have overnight. And then the problem with tomorrow afternoon, you can see what happens. It just lingers around and patches of drizzle, and it's going to be a definition of a sucky day tomorrow. And then another batch of rain comes through on Tuesday, and then that gets out of here by the afternoon, and that's when we'll start warming up. But let's see what the NAM has as far as total accumulated precip, and see if it's got a little, it's a little more heavier, of course, because it is the NAM, and it gives most areas an inch. So the first batch comes through. It gives the NAM's generally wetter. It gives most areas just about an inch of rain, probably, and possibly some areas maybe close to 2 inches of rain. So speaking of that, we will have to go look at the drought monitor before I wrap up this video to see, because it seems like we've been getting a lot of rain lately. So it should be, that situation should be improved, hopefully. So that's what it looks like right now on this. I'm going to go to the GFS as well, show what the GFS has. GFS is not nearly as, it has more of the rain over Jersey, not as much over Long. I'm not sure if I'm buying that, but I will look at the GFS just to show you the dew points and the wind flow. So you can see here south-southeast flow, south flow, and then we go into Tuesday where we got that westerly flow, and then Wednesday where you can see that there's a stalled front, the cooler air trying to come in, but here comes a wave along the front. That's going to bring more rain Wednesday night into Thursday. And then Thursday, we start seeing a northwest flow develop. Drier air comes into the picture. And you can see this is the GFS. You can see the drier air kind of, it's just a glancing blow with the cold. Well, actually, it does try to bring it some more of it down here. Saturday, Sunday, yeah, you can see those really low dew points. That's definitely some Arctic air that's going to try to get in here for the weekend. And you better enjoy it, the Arctic air, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, because then and once we get into the end of the month, we're dealing with this of really warm, the potential for really warm air mass coming in here. And just to show you what this could look like here, yeah, depending on if you're in Jersey, you could see 70 degrees. That's how warm. So that could be record-breaking. That could be record-breaking. So how can I tell you? We're going to have some cold air, but we're going to have to deal with some heat. And not the greatest week overall. We got to get through, I think, the next 3 days, and then things improve by Thursday. So the first 3 days of this week are going to be kind of crappy. So especially with the rain situation, right? And we'll go and we'll take a look at this, the storm systems on here as well, because we have that second system for Wednesday that developed. That's going to be more of a cold front thing. We'll have a better idea of that, how much rain we get with that second system. I could do 24-hour precipitation. Let's see, we got the 24-hour accumulated precip. So the second system could bring another half inch to maybe up to an inch of rain, perhaps. That's the second system. All right. That would be the second system. So we have 3 systems to deal with this week. Tomorrow nights, to Tuesday morning, and then Wednesday night to Thursday. So 3 systems to deal with. And obviously with all of these systems around, getting any sunshine is going to be difficult. So let's go look at that. Obviously, none tomorrow. Tuesday, we'll start off with clouds, and then we may get some sun later on. Wednesday, starting off with sun, and then the clouds come back into the picture. Thursday, we might get some sunshine, but then more clouds for Friday with the next system that comes through. And then hopefully maybe by the weekend, this is the GFS, we can clear it out. But this is a ways away on the GFS. Just Sunday, Monday, whatever. So go to the RGEM next. So here's the RGEM. Plenty of clouds tomorrow. And then Tuesday we'll start with clouds, and then by the afternoon we'll probably see the sunshine. That's when the temperatures could really spike up. Clear skies overnight, Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then Wednesday sun gives way to clouds and probably more rain by the evening. Though this looks like a cold front type of rain, so hopefully it won't be something that's going to linger around. It'll last for an hour or two and be the heck out of here, hopefully. But the situation tomorrow is going to be a little bit of a different story. So let's go look at, I think that we got through all of that. Let's go look at the drought monitor. And they have not updated it yet. So this was as of December 10th. They still have us in the severe drought. I think this will change. I think they don't update it until Thursday. So next Thursday, we're going to have to wait. But you'd think we'd be out of it, but it seems like with all the rain we've gotten, it seems like we're just getting a lot of rain. We're in kind of a wet pattern right now. Sure seems that way anyway. So let's go look at our Climate Prediction Center map, and you'll see here the 6 to 10 day will start off, and you can see they've got below normal in the east. That's that shot of cold air that's coming through. They also have below normal precipitation, too, in the east. Sure doesn't feel like it, but this is from December 21st through December 25th. That's why. So not this week. It's actually the 6 to 10 day outlook. So as we get into the 6 to 10 day outlook, that's when we'll see a colder and drier pattern, and much above normal in the west because there's a ridge there. But when we go to the 8 to 14 day, the whole country is pretty much above normal. Below normal precipitation, still in our area, the near normal, and above normal in the northwest. That's what it's showing right now. So we'll go to a couple more models here as far as tomorrow goes. Just to take a look and show you the URL. This is the windy.com. We do have a feature called visibility, so that can kind of show us if there's going to be drizzle around. So let's use that because I think tomorrow we're going to have a lot of that sucky drizzle around. So here we go. We'll go to 5 p.m. You can see it's got drizzle around. So We're going to be dealing with drizzle, light rain on and off. It's not going to be particularly windy. The rain's not going to be particularly heavy. But maybe by 9 o'clock it gets us out of it for a little bit, and then the next batch comes in. So, yeah, tomorrow is going to suck. That's for sure. So that's why I said it's going to be a sucky Monday. And it's kind of a sucky week with all these rain chances around. And then showing you the next system here on Wednesday. This is Wednesday here at 7 p.m. It starts to see the showers move in. And the Euro, of course, the Euro has it lingering around for a couple of hours. Lovely. So we'll have to see because this is a ways away. So for Wednesday, I mean, it's hard to say if this is going to be a nice quick cold front or there's going to be a low forming along that could slow the precipitation down, whatever. It's going to be, like I said, the first 3 days of this week are going to suck. You're going to have precipitation chances every single day. It's not until we get to Thursday that we get this crap out. And, of course, I forgot something. That is climate report for ice slip. The high was 42. Have a good night. That's 3 degrees below normal. The low is 20, which was 10 degrees below normal, giving us an average of 31, which is 6 degrees below normal. Precipitation is kind of near normal, but I have a feeling we're going to be jumping above that in the next couple of days. So the other thing that I want to just go to is the sea ice that we always talk about too. So I forgot about that too. Sea ice today, sluggish freeze. Obviously that was from last week, but we can go and look at this chart here, which has us in perhaps record territory here. Look at how low we are here with sea ice. We have very little sea ice up there, and that is why we're seeing the climate changing. It affects the jet stream, and that's what we're seeing. So you can see. Let's go look at the map here. It kind of shows us what we got here, and you can see all these areas where the red is. That's where the orange is. That's where the median ice age is. So you can see how much less ice we actually have, and it's quite a bit. So not at all surprising. Anyway, that does finally wrap up this Long Island weather report. Have a good night.